Okay, here's the finished product. I think it turned out great. Okay, tonight I'm going to work on what my wife calls her command center. We've been trying to find a place to put one of the new USB outlets. They're kind of pricey, but you can buy the outlets with 2 outlets and 2 USBs. With all the devices nowadays, it's nice to find a place to store those, and this is the best place we have to store that. The next best place is on top of the stove, and I'd like to keep those devices away from the stove and any food that might be splattering up there. So I'm gonna add a outlet over in this corner. We'll drill down through 3/4 inch conduit, and then we've got these built-in drawers, so I'll be able to drill down into the laundry room below, and I've got some wire down there I can tie into for electricity, and that'll work out perfect. So that's the plan for tonight. So we'll hope it goes well and it's a quick, easy project. Tried to use this paddle drill bit to drill at a 45-degree angle. With this wobble extension on there, it just didn't really work at all, so I ended up having to swap out drill bits. Okay, well that worked out pretty good. So I've got a hole that way. I've got a little bit of a recess to stick my pipe there. And then I've got a hole up top here. There's my hole up top here. We'll take a look at the bottom. Not sure how easily you can see it, but right up there you can see where that hole comes out. And we'll run it down, right down here, over, down that hole, into this outlet. Okay, so this light switch I added here in the laundry room is new. I'm going to tie into that outlet on there. I added this wire in here, runs up through here and over to the light, and then the power comes down from this other side over at this box. I ended up having to install a new box. There was an old one double tapped here and I didn't want to triple tap it, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off that power, run into that switch. I'll double check it, and then I will pull my wire down. Well, actually, maybe I'll pull the wire down before I turn off the power, and then I'll have to turn off the power to hook up that in the back of the outlet, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take off this cover plate before I kill the power, just so I've got a little more light in here. Okay, we'll go shut off that power. Well, that's got to be the one. We'll double check it with the vacuum. Okay. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves here, the light switch is not on, so it should be off. We'll double check these outlets. No power. No power. Okay, we should be good. Shouldn't see any sparks tonight. Okay, we strip off this white. This outlet's already wired. I've already got a white one on this side. I can either push it in the back or I can use the screw. It's already got a connecting plate there, so it will be constant. And the white is also the more silver screw. The gold, I remember it black gold. So black wire goes to the gold screw, white goes to the silver or more white-ish color, and then the ground goes to the green. And then when I wrap it around the screws, I strip it a little bit longer, closer to an inch, wrap it around, and then that allows me to get a nice, good full contact around that pin. And then use your pliers to fully seat that. Pretty snazzy, pretty quick, pretty easy. I don't know why I don't really trust the push connectors, but I generally will use the screw, even though it's a little bit more work. Here's that brand new USB outlet in a box. Opening that up, really easy to open. I was actually kind of surprised how easy the box was to open. Take a look at the back side here. Got a ground screw on the bottom, and then up above that is the white screw and then the gold screw. We'll go ahead and cut this wire and then cut the insulation back as well. Now I'm pulling off the outer insulation as well as the inner insulation below. I'm stripping the wire back approximately ½ an inch. I'm putting a horseshoe-shaped bend in the end of the ground wire so I can hook it on the ground screw. I'm attaching the ground wire now. When I did install the ground wire, I made sure that the grounding wire horseshoe rotates around the screw in the same way that the screw turns. It makes just the installation a lot easier. I'm attaching the black wire to the gold screw. Now I'm attaching the white wire to the silver screw, and then I double check to make sure all my screws are tight and secure so that nothing's going to come loose. Now I insert the outlet into the box, making sure to tuck the wires up a little bit so they have a little bit of bend in them. And then I'll go ahead and tighten these screws up and then put a cover on. To finish it up, I install 4" and 5/8 drywall screws. The bottom two were difficult to do, but with this wobble extension it worked out great. Okay, let's turn the power back on. Okay, well, got that wired up. I kind of cheated a little bit. This is still hot, so obviously I want to be careful touching this. Bring it a little bit closer. Okay, I cheated a little bit on that ground wire there. Really, I should have put it in a wire nut like the other one is, and only had one wire connected onto that ground screw. You know, with most things in life, you can do good, better, and best, and I'd say this is good. It's sufficient for the needs. You know, this is an older home built in the 40s, and I don't even have ground in 95% of my outlets, so really this is beyond what was built at the time. I'm not to code by doing that, I don't believe, but I'm content with it. So again, added a white here. On this other side I added a black. Previously wired this, and it's got a wire nut inside with the ground screw, and then it's got a couple other connections in the back there. The power comes down into the outlet and then out of the outlet into the switch, which then allows me to turn on and off the light. So now it's going to go up this white line, up through here, and then up to the upstairs. So really happy with how it turned out. We'll go ahead and throw this cover back on and go show you the finished product. Okay, well, being careful not to shock myself, just because I wanted this extra light, I'm going to screw this back on. Okay, looking good. All back together. Okay, here's the finished product. I think it turned out great. Dare I say it turned out even better than I expected. So here's what it looks like in the closet here, and I'll show you how I ran the conduit up below. So I've still got a little bit of a mess here to clean up. That extension cord is for the dehumidifier. The rest of that is for this project. Haven't yet put in the drawers. I'll show you that when this is done. But here, back here in the back is the conduit. I drilled out that hole, and I put it down about a ½ inch, and then I cut a notch in the pipe and cut over at a 45-degree angle approximately. This is a very small spacing in between these drawers, so I ended up doing this in 2 pieces and used the coupler end to join those together. And then up top is it also has a sleeve that it sits into. So no brackets, nothing holding that in. Just down at the bottom I've got about a ½ inch or 3/4 inch, and then up top here I've got about same 3/4 inch or so. It's holding it in place. Then I've got those 4 screws, and just those 4 screws hold the whole system in place. Really pretty neat and easy system, and took some diagnosing and kind of some researching through the house, making sure it was going to work and fit down through the basement without hitting anything. I'll come back and show you these drawers. Okay, here we go. Here is the finished product. This is the command center, as my wife calls it. And the idea behind this was just to get rid of all the clutter that was on our desk. And then now we've got another outlet in there that we can hook up tablets to, or hook up maybe a light even inside here. So lots of different options here. Also wanted to give you a sneak peek on a project we're doing here in the future. Underneath this rug here used to be wood floor when we bought the home. It was water damaged from a swamp cooler above. We have since removed the wood and used what we could in the living room to redo that floor. But we're going to tile this, so that will be in an upcoming video. So hope you enjoyed this video, this outlet installation. You know, for me, putting those outlets in is second nature at this point. Just takes a little bit of thinking, making sure you're doing your right processes, and they're really not too bad to install. Oh, one last note on this, the final cost was about $35. I did have a little bit leftover conduit. Those outlets are about 22 bucks, and then the box and the conduit and the cover and whatnot came out to be just a little, you know, 35 and change. So good little project, really enjoyed doing that. I'm sure my wife will greatly appreciate it as well.